Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss one more topic, that is the photosystems and quantasomes. So, before going to study this photosystems, let us try to discuss first this quantasomes, or it is also called as photosystem units. Photosystem unit. Before going to discuss this photosystem, let us try to today we will discuss this quantasomes, or we can discuss this, which is also called as the photosystem unit. Now, what we can how we can define this quantasome, or how we can define this photosystem unit. It is actually, अगर हम बात कर लेंगे, it is actually a collection of pigment molecule that helps in the process of photosynthesis. So, how we can define the quantosome? Quantosome actually is a collection of pigment molecule that helps in the process of photosynthesis. Now, this unit, अगर हम बात कर लेंगे, it has got a chlorophyll like this, and that is actually the chlorophyll A, and around it are other pigments like carotenoids, like phycobilins, like chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, D, E, like this. First, I will draw this diagram. But that is enough. So, what we will see, and in this unit, what we call as this in the photosystem unit, what we will see in the center there is the chlorophyll A, and this chlorophyll A, अगर हम इसकी बात करेंगे, it is called as this chlorophyll A, it is called as reaction center, and these are called as these pigments, what we will see, sorry, these pigments, these are called as accessory pigments. Accessory pigments. Now, what we will see, both these, whatever the reaction that take place, as necessary reaction, that is this chlorophyll A, so it is called as the reaction center, and this is called as the as these, जो इसके सराउंडिंग में हम देखते हैं कि डिफरेंट पिगमेंट्स आर प्रेजेंट देयर, दैट मे बी द कैरोटिनॉइड्स, फाइकोबिलिन्स, क्लोरोफिल बी, सी, डी, ई, etc. They are what we call as this accessory pigments, and this whole complex की अगर हम बात कर लेंगे, this whole complex rather, this whole, it is somewhat called as antenna complex. Now, when a ray of light, when the sun's ray, when it falls on this, we will see that this solar energy, it travels in the form of it has got different wavelengths, so we will see different these pigments, they absorb the different wavelengths, and what we will see actually what happens inside there, this photon, it is transferred to this, then into the chlorophyll, चलो यहाँ पर भी फोटॉन है, इसने एब्जॉर्ब दिस वेवलेंथ कर ली, इस पिगमेंट है इसने वेवलेंथ एब्जॉर्ब कर ली इन द दिस form of photons, then this is absorbed by this and ultimately into this, similarly from this into this and ultimately into this, yeah, from this to this and ultimately into this. So when this maximum हम क्या देखते हैं कि what we will see in this whole this complex के ultimately जो एनर्जी है it reaches to the reaction center. Here what we will see at the maximum, जब ज्यादा हो जाती है यहाँ पर एनर्जी हो जाती है, we will see some electrons, a pair of electrons, they get excited. A pair of electrons they get excited and they leave this reaction center. But in this living organism there is a, what we will see, there is this what we call the receptor which receives these electrons. There's a receptor molecule which receives these electrons. Now, if the same chlorophyll, when it is in the isolated state, chlorophyll A, when this is the isolated state, here it was surrounded by the accessory pigment. Now the second condition is there, when this chlorophyll A is in the what we call as in the isolated state, it is separately, it is individually. Now the wavelengths they come here and the energy, jo solar energy, it reaches inside this chlorophyll A. Again what we will see, a pair of electrons, it gets excited. Since there are no, this condition it is done in the experimental, it is done in the controlled conditions. Here what we will see, no acceptors are present, no acceptor substance is compound is present there which can what we call as the receptor substance are found there which can receive these electrons. What we will see, they ultimately come back, they ultimately come back and make their way into the back into the chlorophyll A. But during their backward journey, what we will see, they emit some light. They emit some light like this. They emit some light and that light जो हमारे पास, they emit some light of different colors, हम कहेंगे different colors of having different wavelengths, whichever they emit out, that gives a peculiar color to that light and that phenomena is called as fluorescence. That gives rise to the fluorescence. So what we will see there, in this case, what we will see, we have got the complex, we have got the reaction center, we have got the accessory pigments, and the whole structure is called as the antenna complex. In the reaction center, जो main हमारे पास, that is the chlorophyll A, and it is surrounded by the accessory pigments like the carotenoid, phycobilins, chlorophyll B, C, D, E, etc. When the rays of the sun falls on these different pigments, they absorb the different wavelengths and whatever the energy is there, that is passed on to this chlorophyll A. When the sufficient energy reaches to this chlorophyll A, we will see the electrons in this chlorophyll A, they get excited, and we'll see a pair of electron, it gets excited and it moves away from this. But in this living system, what we will see, there is this what we call as this acceptor which receives, there the receptors are there which receives these electrons. But when the same chlorophyll A in the isolated form, in the controlled condition, in the experimental conditions is there, when the sun's rays falls on this, we will see the photons, they reach inside. Again what we will see, that pair of electrons, they get excited. But since there are no these receptors which can receive these electrons, so they come back. While coming back, what we'll see, they emit some radiations, they emit some radiation, and that emission of these particular wavelengths, that gives rise to the phenomena that is called as the fluorescence. This was about this first part, that is this quantasomes in our we can say this photosystem unit. In the second part we will try to discuss this actually the photo systems. We have got two photo system first and photo system second, which we will study in the next video. Until then, goodbye. God bless you. Stay blessed. Thanks.